Welcome to the first episode of The Checkpoint. I'm your host, Juan Pablo JP Gomez, and your co-host is always Benjamin Tizzle Toops. And you know us from Video Game Book Club, but Ben and I had a little bit more to talk about. We want to talk about other games that we've been playing, give you a little bit of a check-in on our progress from Video Game Book Club, talk about gaming news, talk about what the community has been playing, and much more.
Yeah, if you've listened to Video Game Book Club, which obviously I hope you do, and if you check it out if you're unfamiliar, but if you listen to our show, there can be some times where JP and I get a little carried away in our conversations.
Just
you
a
could
little
say
bit.
I'm looking at you, Near Automata podcast.
Oh God!
But
Never do that again.
so JP and I, we get together and we can yap a little bit. We can yap a little bit. So we figured, we would give ourselves a space to free the yap and just, give ourselves some time just to chat about, like you said, what's, how the game of the month is going, what's going on in the Video Game Book Club Discord, which if you're not a member of, the link is in the description. It's a super fun place to, play the game of the month alongside us, chat with other people, talk about, plenty of stuff outside of that as well. We've had a lot of new members this month, which is awesome. I think last month's game, Spiritfarer, has a really active community, it seems like, and we got a ton of people kind of from there joining the book club and really excited about it. Overall, super, super excited and super happy to have this new space where we can free the yap.
Free the yap, Benny. The Near Automata podcast gives me nightmares. 3.5 hours of yap was way too much. I never want to do that again. And then we finish, and it's like, well, I've been playing other stuff that I want to talk about, but I don't have a space to do so with my boy Benny. So I'm glad that we're doing this. Just to plug Video Game Book Club one more time, we are currently playing Small Saga, which was a pick that Benny did for this month. Joe from the Discord, our number one fan, has been recommending this game for, I think, 10,000 years, if my math is correct. So, Benny, how is Small Saga for you? You're almost done with it, or you're like halfway through or so?
I don't know if I'm almost done with it. I think it's around like a 10-hour game, and I've done maybe like around 6.5.
Okay, yeah.
And I also feel like I'm not rushing through the game by any means. Like I've been trying to do a lot of the side content and stuff like that as well. So, but I'm also at the point, without spoilers, the point I'm at in the game, it seems like kind of a bottleneck moment. Like there's basically a moment where you're planning this big thing and some of the characters are like, okay, we're about to do this, so take your time and go, finish up other stuff before you want to proceed.
Okay.
So that's why I feel like I'm kind of close to the end. But also, I mean, for all I know, there could be 4 more hours, so I have no idea. What about you? Have you even started the game yet?
So I have started. I played about 90 minutes, about an hour and a half. I got to like the first like big city, Merida, at the end of my kind of playtime then. It was the day before I went on a vacation on a trip with my wife. And I am a, huge Steam Deck player. As you know, I play everything on the Steam Deck. And Steam has this really cool thing called the Steam Cloud Save, where you can play a game on your computer, then you can boot it up on your Steam Deck if it's synced, and boom, you play. So the night before of my trip, I turned on my Steam Deck, made sure it was synced, turned it back off, got on the plane the next day, opened it up, and then Small Saga does not support Steam Cloud Save. So it was from the beginning again, and I was like, no, dude, I can't, and I don't want to like replay the first 90 minutes because I feel like I've had to do that before with other games, either because my save file got corrupted or because something happened and I had to restart. And it kind of gives you a bad taste in your mouth, and I enjoyed the first 90 minutes of Small Saga so much that like I just didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do that to it, and I didn't want to do that to myself and kind of like have a bad plane ride because I'm replaying things that I already did, and maybe I would like skip all the dialogue and get there quicker, but then I don't know, it didn't feel right. I didn't want to do that to Joe or to Small Saga. So That's where I'm at right now. Super quick first impression. I thought that like you were gonna be fighting cats primarily, and I was kind of worried about that. You know, as a papa of two cats, and I know you're a papa of two cats too. Not that seriously worried about it, but you know, a little bit like, oh my god, are cats the evil people? But it isn't like that. It's not like that at all, and it's really cool to see who the actual like kind of villain is, or at least like your protagonist like villain. He is a very specific person, and
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
that's what you're going for. So yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I'll just tell you, like, you are not ready for, what happens. The
I'm
narrative
sure.
goes in like so many different directions. It's crazy and it's awesome. Like I was really not. I don't know. I didn't really know what to expect going into the game because I knew so little about it. I knew it was so highly recommended by Joe, obviously. But like looking at, the Steam page, it was I just didn't know what to expect, and it plays a lot like a super old school kind of JRPG, which is a lot of fun. I haven't played something like that in a long time, that kind of turn-based nature of it. So like, my first couple hours of the game, I was just kind of enjoying it for that sake. But man, there's some, I said this in the Discord too, there's some crazy moments in the game where the tone of the game like shifts so quickly like that. And it like creepy, gory, like
Dude,
there are some really crazy moments in the game, but it in the best way. Like it caught me off guard in the best way. So I'm really enjoying it. Like I said, I think I probably have another couple hours of the game to go. It's a short game, but kind of in the best way. Like there's no wasted content by the looks of it. Everything is super purposeful and super kind of manicured. So, yeah, really enjoying it. Excited to finish it up and talk about it more at the end of the month.
me too. I gotta cut you off there, Benny. You're giving too much away. I don't
Oh,
want to
no.
hear anymore. I don't want to hear anymore. I want to play myself, and I want to get to those moments. And hopefully, the community gets to those moments too. I think a few people are playing alongside us, which is fun to see. All the spoiler tags everywhere in the Discord, and I don't want to click on anything because I don't want to get spoiled. So, a super fun game. But Benny, what else have you been playing?
Yeah, I mean, the only things I've really been playing outside of Small Saga is I played the Blueprints for a bit. So Blueprints is like a game that came out last month. I think it's been in development for a while. There was like an early access version last year. But it's really interesting. It's like a super kind of new take on the deck building roguelike genre. It's like a really unique take on that. And it's a puzzle game. So I had a lot of fun playing it. I played you if you're in the book club Discord, we started like a Blueprints thread where myself and a couple other people who are playing were kind of talking about it as we played. And I think I sent a message saying like, okay, I give up. Like I'm gonna buy the game, on let's say Monday, and then Tuesday evening I was like, oh, I just got credits, and everyone was like, what? That was so fast because it just like it drew me in really, really hard. Like it's a super engaging game. It kind of operates in a similar way to Animal Well, where there's these like layers of the game basically. So basically, I completed like that first layer of the game in the kind of day and a half, 2 days.
How long did it take you to get credits for the first time? Because I thought it was like 15 hours or so.
It was about that time.
Oh, Benny, you grinded.
I was grinding it. I didn't have a lot on my schedule, and I just strapped in. I grinded it, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, games like that where you can just keep doing one more day, it just like just hooks you in. But yeah, I don't know. Like so I really enjoyed that first layer, but after that, it gets to the point similar to Animal Well where the puzzles get a lot more complex, and I think in that second layer of puzzles it's still very doable. Like it takes more effort, but it gets to a point where the roguelike nature of it and the deck building nature of it starts to detract from it in a few ways.
Like it gets in the way.
Yeah, basically. Like it, and this is like a very, kind of controversial. A lot of people have been talking about this. But
Okay.
so basically, this is a puzzle game, right? And to solve a particular late game puzzle, you need for very specific rooms to appear. On top of that, you need very specific items to appear that are really rare. You need, an X amount of resources. You need all this stuff, everything to align, right? But this is a roguelike, and everything is based on RNG. So, you just might not get that thing. And there's slight ways to kind of stack the odds in your favor to get some of those rare things. But in my opinion, I think if they leaned a little more into the deck building nature of it, where you could like physically pick which rooms are in your deck for a given day, I think it would be a lot more kind of beneficial to how the game wants you to play, because it gets to a point, and especially for some of the late game puzzles, like I feel like you're probably just beating your head into a wall trying to figure out. And people are going to say that you're not supposed to like focus on one thing. You're just supposed to take what the game gives you and explore and try to kind of track down threads incrementally instead of just like focusing on one thing. And I think that's totally fair, but just I guess my experience with the game, it was a really awesome game, but something that I didn't find myself like wanting to dive that deep into, kind of for some of those reasons.
What about, so I have a couple questions because I want to play this game, but I haven't yet. I haven't had the time.
You should.
Give me, so the first layer of the game, where it's like, getting to that room, what is it, number 46 or something?
Yeah, 46.
46. I'm assuming that you get to room 46 in the first layer of the game.
Yeah.
So is that worth it? Like, is those 15 hours of the base layer like worth it?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
So when you get to that second layer, how do you like keep track mechanically, maybe, or like by UI or something? How do you keep track of all the puzzles that you're trying to like uncover? Like, how do you keep track of like everything that you want to do? Because Animal Well was kind of like obtuse in a way, like the rabbits, for example. You knew that you had to go find these rabbits, and maybe along the way you like marked your map where all the rabbits were, and you just have to figure out how to get them so you can see them. What about like in blueprints? Like, do you know where things are hidden, or like is that visible at all to you?
No, it's totally a knowledge economy. Like you have to have the knowledge of where something is, like similar to like a tunic or something like that. And to like there's no in-game system for keeping track of everything
Okay.
like that. There's some light tracking, but it's more like achievement type stuff. So for everything you have to take notes. And so whether that's like a physical notepad, for me I was using the Steam overlay, has like a notepad feature
Yeah.
that I was using a ton. And that was really helpful. But yeah, I mean, similarly obtuse, the game like doesn't, there's no, journal where you've got quests and stuff like that. There's none of that kind of tracking. You just have to take notes. You gotta know where things are. You gotta know what the codes are and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, kind of similar in that way, I guess. But I think to answer your initial question, definitely worth it. Definitely worth it.
Yeah, I need to try it. And cool thing about the video game book club Discord is that one person, Yax in the Discord, basically became a blueprints god. He was super involved in the blueprints Discord. He was apparently leading a lot of like the puzzles, the like late game puzzles and stuff that were happening. So he knows a lot of it. So hey, if you want to play this game and you join the club and you have any questions, I'm putting him in the spot, but basically you can ask anything you want and I'm sure that he'll help you out.
We've got the blueprints guru in the video game.
We've got the blueprints himself, I think. Blueprints
I think he might
is
be
in there.
I think he might be the blueprints. You're right.
I wanted to talk about a little game called Crypt Custodian. And this is a game that I played in between Spiritfarer and starting Small Saga. It was kind of like my little palate cleanser game. And This game is I want to call it a low-key action adventure game. Action exploration game, actually. A low-key action exploration game. So why low-key? Because it's like, I don't want to call it like a cozy game. Like when I think about a cozy game, I think of something like Spiritfarer or like a Stardew or like a farming sim or something. It's not a sim. I mean, you're fighting bosses that have, bullet hell sequences. They're like super tight controls. It's tough. You're going to die a lot and you have to retry bosses over and over and over again. It's a Metroidvania, so you have to keep track of like places and stuff. Your whole map at the beginning, it's small, of course, like any Metroidvania, but then it expands to a huge map. You have to remember which ledge was just out of your reach so that when you unlock the like jump and dash, you remember to go there and, kind of like discover a new biome there. But it's low key in the sense of how mechanically it works. And I think they did such a good job. It's actually one guy who made this game, Kyle Thompson. And I think he did such a good job. But I wanted to kind of go from why does it work to like, my favorite things about the game. So I think, again, so this is like a top-down Metroidvania, kind of like think, old school Legend of Zelda, where you're just walking around room by room, fighting monsters with your sword. In this case, you have a broom, not a sword, and you're a cat, not an elf. And yeah, you go around different biomes, you discover fun items and stuff for you to equip, and then you just go around until you finish the game. It's a small game, just like Small Saga. It's about 10 hours. It took me 10 hours, 10 hours, 20 minutes or so to finish it. Then there's a boss rush mode that I wanted to complete as well. I wanted to get like S+ on all the bosses, so I did that.
Oh, yeah.
It was really fun. You can't get hit, it's really, really fun. You have to beat it in like a certain time too. Like some bosses you have to beat in like 45 seconds, and I'm like, oh my God. But for me, those challenges are really fun. Again, see, that's why this is like a low-key but not cozy, But why does it work? The presentation is amazing, I think. It's everything is very intentional. Like every biome that Kyle has created is very intentional in what he wants to like say.
You're just calling him by
name. Kyle is my guy.
I need to go on a first name basis with Kyle.
Kyle is my guy. I love when a game is created by like one person and you can kind of feel his project, obviously like, through the game, but like you can feel it like in your heart, especially if you vibe with it. I just think the presentation is really good, and all the different biomes are great. The spirits that you meet are really, listen, it's simple. Like the plot is super simple, but it's fun. Like it's just exactly what you need as like a palate cleanser of a game, something that you can like sink your teeth in for 10 hours and then you kind of forget about it. Not that I'm going to forget about it forever, but like it's kind of like, okay, I played it, like it's in there. Sure. The plot is basically you're this little cat, your name is Pluto, and you just died. You died. You got hit by a car and you die. And then you wake up in the afterlife, and you have like a little spirit that kind of guides you. You grab your broom, you start like hitting statues and stuff so you can clear the path, and you can go talk to the guardian of like the afterlife, and her name is Kendra. And Kendra decides if you've been good or bad. And if you've been bad, get out of here. You're not getting into the palace. You're going to the bad place. And if you're good, you're going to the palace. Well, of course, she says, you've been a great cat. I think you're good. But oh my God, what is this? You destroyed my statues. You are bad. You're a bad cat. Get out of here. And then she tosses you to the bad place, and she sentences you to a life of janitorial duties. You have to like clean up the bad place with your broom. And that's what you have to do. And you're like,
just for breaking a few statues? That's every cat, man.
That's like, every
cat going to the what?
Well,
what?
So quickly, Pluto finds out that every single spirit has been sent to the bad place. So no one gets into the palace, only the bad place. And Kendra isn't really doing her job as the guardian. She's sending everyone to the bad place. So the way it works is you eventually meet this spirit called Grizz. I think he's also a cat, maybe a raccoon. And he's trying to break into the palace, and he tells you, yo, we should do this, but we need more like people, more friends to help us. So you have to find 10 friends. Literally, he says it. You have to find 10 friends, and then we can get through. Grizz, of course, one of your friends. So you really have to find 9. And basically every biome in the map is a different spirit that you go find, and you go help with whatever they need. And then there's a big bad boss that you fight. And then at the end, you gain a new skill that will help you traverse the land in that Metroidvania sense. You can only jump and dodge roll, but then your dodge roll becomes a dash instead, and so you can dash like jump and dash to a ledge. Then you can, throw your sword or your broom like a boomerang, and wherever it lands, like you can teleport there. You can create a new spirit, and you can solve little puzzles and stuff, which I think makes it really fun. Like the point of a Metroidvania game is that you explore it, you find different secrets and stuff that like give you that little candy in your brain, like, oh, I love these little secrets. But then you find a room that has a ledge that is just outside of your reach, and you know that you want to come back there because you know something's hiding in there, and you want to get to it. For the mechanics of the game, like it's low-key again, like you don't upgrade your sword at all. Like, you don't, there's no skill tree, there's nothing like that. The only thing that you get are these upgrades that you can equip. Basically all around the world there's these like little skill points items that are scattered around, and you have to do maybe like a mini boss or like a little time platforming event or something of the like to get a skill point. Depending on how many skill points you have, you can equip these like the decahedron, the 12-sided die-ish looking things as your upgrades that, it increases your attack or increases your movement speed, or, enemies drop more loot or whatever, more garbage. That's like the loot system. And so, you want all those skill points because then you can equip more things and then you become stronger. And that's kind of the progression. So it's not like you level up or anything like that. It's just, you're in there. There's also like, you don't gain more hearts or anything. You have 4 and that's it. It's very like simple in that sense. But the mechanics of like the finding these upgrades makes it so that you want to explore more. You want to try different combinations of them so that you fight better. And, different bosses have different mechanics that you want to like try to beat them by like combining different upgrades in the way that makes sense for that particular boss. But the one thing that like, another thing that I like about it is, again, like Kyle, my friend, he doesn't want you to just like lose or get mad and stuff. When you jump, if you can kind of like make a jump to a ledge, if you barely miss it, the game will kind of like nudge you so that you actually make it, if that makes sense. Whereas like other games that like just want to like kill you just because they want to, you jump and you barely miss it, and it's like, haha, you lost, and you got to go all the way back to the checkpoint or whatever, and you lose all of your like, garbage, which is your currency in the game, like souls or whatever. But in this one, you don't. Like, even if you do die, yes, you go back to a checkpoint, but you don't lose like your souls or whatever. You just go back. You can also teleport to any shrine at any moment whenever you want. You don't have to like, grind and sweat whenever you only have 1 heart left and you have to go through like 10,000 rooms to get to that one shrine so you can like save finally or heal and stuff. You can just teleport and that's it. So
okay.
Anyways,
so it's very much like, all of the Metroidvania without any of the Souls-like, basically.
Yes, all of the Metroidvania without the grim aspect of it. It's really fun. It's cute. Like in every biome you find Polaroid pictures that like will tell you a story or the story of the spirit that you find. So for example, I wrote a couple of them down because they're dumb. So one of the spirits is Roy, and he's a little mole, and his Polaroid story is that my man loved to dig, and then one day he dug too far and he fell in like an oil pit underground and he dies, and that's why he's a spirit now. The other one's like Dang. Pebble. She's a little frog, and she lived in the bog with her partner or whatever. I forgot her name, but Pebble one day like went to explore the bog, and then a bird got her and she died, and now she's a spirit. So it's kind of silly like that. You also have your own story that you find your Polaroid pictures. You were a house cat and you one day escaped. You didn't mean to, you just kind of like escaped and walked to the street and you got hit by a car, and that's what happened. But yeah, anyways, the game was really fun. I like it a lot. There's some special attacks, just like Hollow Knight. You hit, you fill up a meter, and then once it's full, you can do a special attack. There's like 9 of them. You can collect them and stuff. But yeah, the game was really good. I definitely recommend it. It's not like a 10 out of 10. It's not. It's like a solid 7.5. 8 out of 10 game that you can like, again, play in like a week or like in a weekend, and it just gives you that like, oh, Metroidvania itch without the, oh my god, I need to sink 30 hours into this game and like mark up the map like I'm a crazy person to find every single spot. There's some, again, with the intentionality of the game and the low-keyness of it, you can buy information. You can go to like the bar or whatever which is like a hub where all the spirits are. And the bartender, you can pay him and he'll mark on your map where there's items that you've missed, or they can mark on the map where there's those ledges that you will discover a new room based on the abilities that you have, that that you can get to it, whether, again, that's your boomerang or your jump dash and stuff. So you can always find everything without without too much, like, I don't know, it's not that hard, basically. So
there you go. That was a little mini video game book club episode.
A little mini video game book club episode, exactly. And because it's video game book club and it's a mini version of it, I have questions for you. Because I know
for me, what? I didn't. I know. Okay, sure.
I know that you love Metroidvanias, and I know that Hollow Knight is one of your favorite games. And we played Nine Souls, which is one of our favorite games now in Video Game Book Club. This Metroidvania is different in the sense that it's a top-down like perspective and not like a 2D platforming perspective. So I wanted to ask you, what is your preferred Metroidvania experience? And to you, what makes a Metroidvania so good? Why do we like these games?
I don't know. It's a tough question. Like I have my history with Metroidvanias is like I initially tried to play Hollow Knight back kind of around when it first released, like 2017 or so. And I played it for a few hours, tried to, just do it by myself, just kind of explore the map. And I got just kind of bored of not knowing how to progress, basically. Like I wasn't, by myself, I wasn't super easily able to, find the correct way forward. I feel like sometimes in Metroidvanias, like, they give you too much too soon. And Hollow Knight does that a little bit. But so, like, I went through the first couple areas, wherever, and had fun, and then just kind of was like, I guess, overwhelmed. And I was like, I'm going to put this down for a bit. And I never picked it back up.
Yeah.
And then, like, a year and a half ago or so, pretty recently, I started a new game. I was like, okay, I need to play Hollow Knight, like, once and for all. And this time I used more like guides, and I used, when I would get stuck, I would just like kind of look up where to go next. And that made the experience like so much better for me. I felt like I was able to actually play the game. So I don't know, for me specifically, like, I feel like when the barrier to entry is a little too high, it's not great for me. And some people probably love that. Some people probably love, exploring every corner of the map to find the secrets and to find which way to go next. And that's totally fair. I mean, we played Nine Souls last year, and I don't think there was ever really a time when I didn't really know what to do next, because I feel like Nine Souls did a good job procedurally opening up the map, whereas Hollow Knight, it felt like more areas were open to start, so I just didn't know where to go. So I don't know. Yeah, I feel like for me personally, what makes a Metroidvania great is the sense of exploration, but without feeling like it's work to figure out where I need to go next, if that makes sense.
No, that makes sense. And every Metroidvania needs like some sort of like map marking system, because you're gonna forget. 20 hours in, you're gonna forget that the first room had something if you went left instead of going right,
For sure.
But yeah, I agree. I think the sense of exploration, that something is within your reach, is what I love about Metroidvanias. Like, you can get there, you just need the correct skill to get there, whether that's your double jump or whatever next you're gonna get. That's what you want. Whereas a game that has like very, very like deep secrets where, oh my god, you have to like break a very specific wall that really doesn't have any like sprites on it to make it look like it is breakable, because some NPC told you like 10 hours ago that you can break that wall. It's like, oh my god, that's a lot harder. That's why I like Metroidvanias. It's in your face, like you can see it. If you like pay attention, you know where you can go. And the second thing that I like about it is, so Blasphemous is one of my favorite like Metroidvania games. And I remember I started playing the game and I didn't know where I was going. And I took the wrong turn probably like 3 or 4 times where I couldn't find like a safe spot or a shrine in so long, and like I will look at my map and I'm like, what the hell? Like I've explored for like 45 minutes, but I just had so much fun. Like you can just go room to room to room to room, and Hollow Knight kind of the same thing happens. And if you don't die, and you can survive that long, it just makes it so fun. You discover like you're definitely in places that you shouldn't be just yet.
Right.
But that sense of exploration, that sense that you made it that far, and you know that you can go collect your stuff later if you do die, I don't know. It works really well. I don't think I've played a lot of like top-down Metroidvanias though. So this was a different experience, and I really liked it. But I think 2D platformers are still probably my preferred Metroidvania experience though.
Fair enough. Yeah. Well, it's really interesting. I feel like, I saw you playing that game. I think another game that a lot of people in the book club were talking about this past month was Clair Obscur Expedition 33.
Oh my god.
And it's a game that I feel like I'm close to the end of Small Saga, and we'll have some time before the end of the month. So it's a game I feel like I might want to pick up and try.
It's a game that maybe we could play for Video Game Book Club, honestly, because it looks incredible.
Yeah,
it
true.
Looks incredible.
If we wanna wait, yeah, we could definitely do that. I feel like it's a little longer. I feel like I think the minimum is like 35 hours, so that might be a little tough.
It's too tight for Video Game Book Club, I think.
Yeah, maybe. But I think besides that, it would be a perfect game for it because it looks awesome. Yeah. I think what I really appreciate what I've seen about it so far is that it takes a really successful genre, like, thinking about kind of the modern Final Fantasy games, and kind of that style of JRPG, or Persona is another one, and just a totally new, totally fresh take on it with new ideas, new gameplay mechanics, new characters, a new world. So I think that's all super impressive, and from like a pretty new studio. I think this is the first game.
Their first game, yeah.
So I think that's incredible, and it's from the looks of it, for what you're getting, it's also a $50 game. So a month after Nintendo announced that the new Mario Kart game is going to cost $80,
ridiculous.
Instead of that, you can get Clair Obscur, a 40-hour game, incredible acted JRPG for $50. Like that seems like a pretty good value proposition. So I think it's one I might have to give a try.
I have a question that I just thought of. So have you played, this is a French game, have you played a game that maybe bar Japanese games where you play it in the original language that it was designed in? And maybe not like the menu or whatever, but like the voice acting and stuff in that language. Because I don't know if Clair Obscur has it in French, but I would imagine that they, primarily did the voice acting in French, and then they did like English stuff on top of it. But maybe not. I don't know. I haven't looked into it.
Yeah, I would have to imagine, but I'm not sure. I don't know. The only game I think I've played in original dubbing, and it is a Japanese game, is Sekiro. Sekiro is originally dubbed in Japanese.
Yeah.
And, so you just play it like an anime, essentially, with Japanese voices and English subtitles. But I think that's the only one I've played like that. I'm trying to think if there's any other, but none are coming to mind, so I'm not sure.
I've been meaning to do that more, especially like I want to play games in Spanish and stuff, but hey, Blasphemous is from a Spanish studio, so maybe I should do I haven't played Blasphemous 2, so maybe I should do that in Spanish.
There you go.
But I played A Plague's Tale in French, and it's a French game, and it was great. I loved playing it in French. I do speak French, which helps. But
yeah, I was gonna say you also know Spanish and French.
Yeah. But I want to do that more. It is cheating a little bit, but I want to do that more. And like if there's like an Italian game, like I don't know Italian, but I want to play it in Italian if possible. But I don't know. That's something that like maybe as I'm growing a little older, I'm 28, but maybe that I want to do more, like just experience it in like the language that it was made in.
I feel like if you know French and Spanish, you basically know Italian.
You say that, dude, but I've been to Italy and. Like in Portugal was a breeze compared to Italian. I mean, we were speaking like Portuñol, like it's like a mix of Portuguese and Spanish, español, and it was so easy. We could understand each other perfectly. Then I went to Italy and I was speaking Spanish and they were speaking Italian. It's like, nah, it was not happening. And so
That's
then we were just
hilarious.
pointing. It's like, I want that. I want that. It's like, okay, cool.
Yeah, you got to break out the pointer.
break out the
finger.
pointer, and then you're in there. But no, Clair Obscur, it looks incredible. I think one of the things that JRPGs fail to, or FRPGs, I guess French RPGs, they fail to do is a good story. And apparently, you know, I don't know it that well, but from what I've read, Clair Obscur Expedition 33 has a banging of a story that makes you want to keep playing. It's also stylish, like a Persona or like a Metaphor Refantasio. So when you're in battle in this turn-based, like, you know, type of game, it's so stylish that you love to look at it, you love to play it. And with the pairing that it has and like the aiming and like the, you know, time-based events and stuff, it looks like it will capture you for sure. And I've just seen so many different like you know, TikTok skits and memes and stuff like that, or YouTube shorts, where apparently like the bosses in Expedition 33, they like fake or feint their hits so that to make you parry, you know, wrong on purpose and stuff. And those type of videos have, it's just, they're so funny. They
Well, hey,
I don't even
I've got $50 sitting in my Steam inventory right now because for whatever reason, and I don't know why, Counter-Strike cases like massively increased in value over the past few days.
Wait, what?
I don't know if someone is like buying all these up or what's going on, but a friend messaged me and said like, "Hey, you know, check your inventory," because I used to play Counter-Strike a little bit back in the day.
Yeah.
And when you play a game like Counter-Strike, you get cases all the time because the cases are, or at least they were pretty valueless because you had to buy a key to open the case. So the key is kind of where like more of the value was. But for whatever reason, the cases themselves, like super old cases, jumped up in value to like $5 a piece. And I looked at my inventory and I had a bunch of them. So I was like, all right, I'll take free money. So hey, maybe I'll use my my windfall of cash to buy Clair Obscur.
Hell yeah, dude, that's amazing. I really want to get it on Steam too because I want to play it on the Steam Deck, of course. But I've heard it doesn't run super well just yet. But they're working on it. But hey, speaking of gaming news and stuff, we just got an announcement from Rockstar that GTA was delayed until 2026, which I feel like everyone knew, but now it's like official, you know, an official statement.
Yeah.
And then to counteract the, you know, people being upset, they released a trailer like a day later or something showing off.
That'll do it.
Yeah, showing off like how cool the game looks.
I feel like I don't know, like GTA is one of those things for me where I didn't play any of the super early games. The game I played the most was 5. And like I enjoyed it around when it first came out. I played it. I think for when it came out, 2013, it was like pretty revolutionary, you'd have to say, like in terms of kind of the detail of the open world. So it was a fun game and I really enjoyed it. I don't think I've really ever understood how it's still around. Like
Sure.
I see people still playing like GTA RP and all these online servers and I'm just like, it doesn't click with me. It doesn't click, like, and it's maybe because I'm not into that type of thing, that kind of like online RP thing, but it just like, this game is over a decade old at this point. Like we understand that, right? And it's not like it's a MOBA or anything. This is just like a game that looks worse every day. So it's like, I don't know. It's weird to me that GTA 5 is still like so in the zeitgeist.
Yeah.
I think it's really interesting that it is. And in terms of like how that, like, is it going to be the same thing GTA 6? Are we going to be playing GTA 6 in 2040?
Bruh,
like, what is going?
Waiting for
I don't know.
GTA 7 and it keeps getting delayed year by year.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, GTA 7 is going to span like an entire solar system at this point. Like, but I don't know. GTA, it is such like an established franchise that when it comes out, I feel like I'll have to play it just to kind of see, because you know GTA 5 was such like a technological improvement that I'm kind of interested to see where that stands now with 6. So I'll probably play it, you know, at least a little bit, even if I don't, you know, complete it maybe. But yeah, I don't know. What's your relationship with these games? Do you feel like you're gonna play this when it eventually releases?
I've never played GTA. Never
Okay.
played, to San Andreas, GTA 3, nothing. 4 or 5. I've never played them. They're not like my type of games, maybe. Or I've never had the desire to play them. It's one of those things where, like, you would go over to your friend's house and they had it and maybe they were playing a little bit. But I was kind of like, yeah, let's play FIFA, or something. At the time, that was kind of what I wanted to do. Or like,
Yeah, yeah.
split screen COD or something.
Right.
And now, once maybe like after college or like after high school, like I started playing just more like indie games, and that's kind of where my love of games is now. Of course, when the AAA game franchises that I like, come out, I want to play those games. But I never really have played these like massive, honestly, like GTA like games, like the Yakuza series. I love Yakuza. So like, if you want to
Yeah.
say like GTA like, but like it's not really, it's kind of like a funny GTA, a little more like emotionally silly, but like with some deep themes that like make you feel good and feel bad at the same time. I love those, but the GTA, no. But the thing is with GTA, it is a the biggest kind of like culture like word that you can say, speaking of video games. It's on the
Yeah.
news. People say like,
Yeah.
"Oh, Grand Theft Auto, it's making kids like want to like steal cars or whatever." It's like, "What? No, like GTA, like, oh, you can go
I've
to
I've stolen I've stolen 10 cars, and it has nothing to do
it
with me
has
playing
nothing to
GTA.
do with
Okay.
GTA. He does it because he wants the
I
new
do it for the love
whips.
of the game.
Yeah, love of
Love of
the
the
game,
game.
dude. It's easy, and he wants to do it. So let him do it, guys. But yeah, it's like you can't play video games, without hearing about GTA,
Exactly.
without watching someone play GTA, without seeing like a YouTube video about GTA, like longest sequence between one city to the next city where you like get on a truck and then he like lands on the plane and then you like ride the plane and then whatever you get to the next city, like stuff like that you see on TikTok and YouTube shorts and stuff.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, what's the cost gonna be? $100 for a GTA 6? Like
Legitimately, maybe.
honestly, and then it'll be a deluxe version with 120, and I'm just like,
Sure. Sure.
I'd rather buy 10 Crypt Custodians than buy GTA 6, I think.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
But who knows? Maybe I'll try it. I mean, now that we're doing Video Game Book Club, who knows? Maybe the community is gonna pick GTA 6 for us in 2026, and we're gonna have to
Oh
play
my
it.
god. That would be
It's
ridiculous.
gonna be tough, but yeah. Any other gaming news? What about Nintendo Switch 2? Are you gonna get that?
No, like
Yeah,
probably not. I feel like I'm never the person that's like the early adopter of these things. Like
sure.
I haven't really ever bought a console on release like that. I'm more inclined to just like wait a little bit and see what kind of titles come out, how the launch titles go, stuff like that. Maybe price comes down a little bit, although this is Nintendo, so probably not.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, yeah, probably not buying it on release.
yeah.
Probably not.
Me either. We pulled the Discord, and it seemed like no
We
one's
did.
gonna get it.
It was 100% no.
100% no. Yeah, I don't think so. Someone in my friend group is probably gonna get it, and they're gonna get the new Mario Kart World or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna play it then. I feel like. But yeah, no, I don't think so. Not for me. Dude, although the Bloodborne, not really the Bloodborne game, but like the FromSoft game that they're doing exclusive for Nintendo Switch, kind of want to play
Yeah,
that.
that looks weird.
It
I don't
looks,
know
it
what
looks
that
kind of
is.
bad and kind of weird, but it's gonna be one of those things that is probably gonna have like a cult following, and then it's gonna make me want to
I'm
play
sure.
it. But
And it'll never be available on any platform besides
literally,
Switch 2, so nobody will
Yeah.
ever play it.
maybe I'll play it on the Steam Deck too or something, but we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see.
Benny, before we go, I have a little bit of a video game trivia for you.
Oh God. Okay.
And I just think this is kind of funny, and also I didn't expect this list, but I have right now with me the top 10 list of best-selling video games and the sales numbers attached to them. And I want you to think and see if you can name at least 5 of the ones in the top 10. And while you think, I'm going to plug Video Game Book Club one more time to everyone who's listening. We're playing
Wait. Do
What?
I have like a category? Like, what?
a list of best-selling video games of all time.
Okay, just like in general?
Just in
Okay,
general.
that's really hard. Okay, you go ahead. I'm gonna think here.
Best-selling video games of all time, in general. Like no
go-
collection of games or series. It's just one game. You know.
Sure. All right.
But
you do your plug. Give me a second here.
thank you so much for listening to the Checkpoint, our first episode in this kind of like, show between the show of Video Game Book Club. We are playing Small Saga right now, which has been super, super fun. We can't wait to talk about it in a couple weeks' time and keep growing Video Game Book Club with everyone. We've been growing a lot. The Discord's popping off every other day. It seems like it's amazing. And I just wanted to thank everyone for following us, like wanting to listen to us, wanting to play games with us, wanting to conversate and discuss different games and gaming news and gaming aspects with us. It's been really great. So thanks again. And if you're watching this on YouTube, like and subscribe. If you're hearing us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, thank you so much. Give us a review. Yeah, you can say we're okay. It's fine. We'll get better as we keep doing this.
But
5-star only. 5-star only. But yeah, just wanted to say that, and thanks again. All right, Benny, are you ready?
I mean, no. Like,
just give me what do you think is on the list? What do you think is on the list?
All right, I think GTA San Andreas has to be on there.
No, but GTA 5 is. So
no?
No.
Oh wow, 5 is okay. Yeah. Interesting. All right, GTA 5. What position is that? Can
Number
you tell
2,
me?
210 million copies.
Really?
Sold. 210 million. I was surprised by that as well. What's number one? I'll tell you number one, and you will be like, yeah, Minecraft.
Give me a second.
Minecraft.
Okay.
350 million copies, which is crazy. So that's number one. Number two.
That kind of makes sense. I think sleeper pick.
Okay.
Wii Sports.
Yeah, bro, that's number 3. You're insane. Wii Sports is number 3. 82,900,000.
Because it was sold with the console.
It was sold
so every
with
console,
the console. Everyone had it.
Yeah.
Now, number 4 is extremely surprising. I'm going to say it because I don't think you're going to get it. Ark Survival Evolved.
Is it really?
79 million.
Where are you getting your numbers?
Bro, I'm getting them from Wikipedia.
There is no
79
way.
million copies. Isn't that
sold
crazy?
79 million
That's
copies.
What they said.
That's
maybe
bizarre.
a bot bought 78 million and then actual people bought 1 million. I don't know. But
maybe.
Then the next game, number 5, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, 76 million. This is for the people out there. Now you can have all this trivia so you can talk to your friends about it. Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow at number 6 with 76 million copies.
Wow.
This one's surprising again. 75 million copies. PUBG Battlegrounds at number 7. Is that? Yeah. And then it's
that makes a little bit of sense.
You think? I feel like that's a lot. Now these are games that you have to buy, right?
Yeah, because Fortnite would be on this list.
And then Red Dead Redemption 2 and The Sims are tied at 70 million copies. And finally, number 10, The Oregon Trail, 65 million. Multi-platform game, first released in 1971, which is kind of wild. So that's your little bit of a video game trivia for you guys out there. And when you go to your next video game party,
this concludes we read a list.
We read a list in the podcast segment, and we react in real time for your entertainment.
Incredible.
Thank you so much for listening again to the first episode of The Checkpoint, and we will see you soon in a couple of weeks, and we'll talk about Small Saga. Bye.